Welcome back. There is the Lightning Bolt number 98. And he's been carrying that as Scott Borchetta since he was a little boy in go-karts. He loves that. He sort of Unser Lightning Bolt. And Johnny Lightning. And that number 98 Corvette has literally sprinted around the tracks of America. They were having some issues with it on Thursday when I arrived, on Friday morning, excuse me, when I arrived, but they've got them all fettled. And Borchetta will try to take it to another victory. And there is the 96. What a beautiful color that is. Quick wave from him as we look at our Group 6 cars. Another Corvette just behind.
That was Jim Farley in that Cobra. And Scott Borchetta and Jim Farley, I think we would be hard-pressed to find two men that are having more fun than them in the paddock. When they get up on the podium, it's like talking to a bunch of 13-year-olds. They have so much fun up there. They're having a blast. I love seeing that. And, you know, my job here with SVRA, I call it the camp counselor. So yeah. I love it when our friends are out there having fun on the track.
So this is the feature race 2. Look at that. That 21 of Steve Edenmauer on the Ford Mustang Boss 302. That black, red, and silver car is just gorgeous.
We had a latecomer to our grid. That green 911 there that you see at the back.
Yeah, saw it, yeah.
Is Pat Womack, the president of WeatherTech. Here we are at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. He just said, you know what, I'm going to try this other car. And then he's going to be in our next B sedan race, so it should be pretty fun for Pat Womack the next couple of minutes.
Just saw Steve Park in the Shelby Cobra, and we've got a few Shelbys in this one.
That's Tim Park in the 64 Shelby Cobra.
There's that 55 you were talking about.
Yeah, that's Pat Womack. I love the lines of that car.
Yeah, and you know, when we looked at that previous, the 356, I mean, it really doesn't look that different, does it?
No, it's the same basic line, silhouette for sure.
It just looks fast, doesn't it?
Those wheels and tires, you know, from coming out of that Group 1 with the 10-inch mini wheels.
Yeah.
And then you see this huge sewer pipe coming out of the side to give the exhaust to these huge 427 Cobras such a good juxtaposition. Good shot of the tower there.
Yeah. Good advert for Marriott, too. Hats off to all our cameramen and operators doing a great job today, as always, for Greenlight Television, bringing you the action for SVRA.
I like these big mag wheels.
You know, I heard that 98 Corvette of Borchetta and similar exhausts, and my word, do they make a sound. I mean, the whole thing, I mean, it must be thunderous behind the wheel. Really powerful. Don't expect to see much through that mirror, but oh well. He's got another one in the middle.
That's his blind spot mirror. They're convex like that, just so they can see. It's basically just for their blind spot. So we just got 1 minute on the grid. We've got 3 drivers left to get into their cars, and Becky Pengraff, grid chief, is out there on the grid. She's been given 1 minute, which means it's her grid. She can release when she wants. Her husband, Bob Pengraff, is one of our best SVRA photographers, so they're both here working. They got married at a racetrack. That's how much they love racing in Portland a few years ago, so that's really cool to have them here.
Yeah, very cool.
Looks like Scott Borchetta wants the inside. Corvette versus Cobra. Cobra was built to beat those older Corvettes like we're seeing. And then Corvette had to come out with a new model like what Scott Borchetta's driving to try to beat the Cobra. They just went back and forth for years.
So we are about to get underway for our Group 6 action. We welcome you on our SVRA app. Coming up later, we have historic Trans Am. We also have our TA race for the modern Trans Am competitors. Gosh, that really does rumble underneath us, doesn't it? Fantastic sound.
Well, we are in California, so I got to get my bearings. Is that an earthquake, or did a bunch of muscle cars just go right by our booths here?
Well, they could probably hear that rumble back in Monterey.
So if you can see it, we're this building on the right behind that Lexus banner.
Yeah.
And it's just shipping containers stacked up high, 3 high, and they are really moving us around in here, which is really fun. There's Pat Womack in that SO Porsche 911, the number 55. Pat is the current president of WeatherTech, and I wish I could ask all of our drivers to wear white gloves, because you can really see their input when they wear the white gloves like that. I just love those shots. A Carrera.
That's a pretty looking car, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I just love those Porsche 911s. That's just, with that little whale tail there at the back, I like that. That's not the severe whale tail that we've known, but that's also the air intake of these Porsche 911s. So look for Pat Womack to really move his way up. He's a very good driver. He's been racing with us for quite a while. He was our B Sedan Light Champion in 2018 in our B Sedan class, and races with us whenever he can. So,
and rumor has it yet to spill a drink.
Yeah, he's got that all the WeatherTech, not in his race cars, but my favorite thing with WeatherTech is that cup phone, and I use it so much, and I've become so accustomed to it that I actually bring it with me on these trips in my rental cars, so I can put my phone right there to play music. And if you haven't got one,
what are you rocking out to these days?
Get it. Today, RC and I were rocking out some Led Zeppelin.
Ah,
yeah, my favorite band.
So you've given up on Casey and the Sunshine Band?
Yeah, that's my Monday mix.
Okay.
But my Sunday mix, the rock and roll mix, is AC/DC, Led Zeppelin.
Fair enough. Yeah, we like us some AC/DC and SVRA.
Yeah. Look at that Falcon there. That's a cool looking car.
So Group 6 about to get underway as they head up the Ray Hall Straight, and will soon navigate their way downhill, having gone all the way up to the top of the mountain.
So we've got Chevrolet Corvettes, Ford Cobras, Ford Mustang Boss 302s, Ford Mustangs, Corvette Coupes. We've got Mercury Cougars, Jaguar E-Type, a Ford Falcon. Good mix of cars out here. I like those 64, 63 Corvettes. There's a GT350 and a Porsche 911. Look for that green Porsche 911 to really make some dive bombs into turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 so he can work his way through the pack.
So as you were saying, Scott Borchetta, as the pole man, gets the choice of the inside or outside line, right?
Yep. So he's going to take a defensive line through Jim Farley and that Cobra. So Jim's going to have to do the work to try to get around him. That Corvette should have him in the drag race, has the power in the drag race, but Farley might have the agility to possibly pass around the outside on 2, but that's going to be really tough to do.
Here we go then. What a beautiful sound, and it is neck and neck, but finally Borchetta does take the advantage. Farley looking to the inside, the other Corvette in third, coming up the inside.
Chris Springer side by side. We got a local yellow there hanging from the flag stand. I don't know if it's just hanging there, if he's waving it.
And Springer is through to second.
He needs to put that away if it's just blowing in the wind. That looks like a local yellow. And look at this pack back there. And it looks like Pat Womack has already picked up 4 positions.
Yeah, you can't miss him, can you? Just picked up another now.
5 positions at the start. Good stuff. And now look for Jim Farley to really come back. He's in 3rd place right now in that beautiful Le Mans covered Cobra right there. Look for him to try to take this position back from that Corvette, but that's Don Yount, who we just saw in the last race in that 1969 Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, and you can't miss that all green Porsche coming through, as you say. He's already made up 5 or 6 places early on. There he is. And here come the leaders, and already Borchetta starting to gap them very quickly. He had about 18 seconds on them yesterday, and that included an off at turn 2. He had a rare mistake at turn 2, went into the gravel, recovered, and then got himself back into the lead.
Yeah, and he's kind of in a class of his own up there in that Chevrolet Corvette.
Here comes Farley.
This is the battle to watch right here. This is some good stuff with Chris Springer in that 1965 Chevrolet Corvette. Races with us quite a bit, followed by, this is the battle. This is the Corvette model that Ford had to beat with this Cobra.
Oh, right, beautifully done.
Just took them. So we're seeing basically Ford history. Ford designed the Cobra with Carroll Shelby to beat that model year Corvette that would have been run by like Bondurant and all the famous Corvette drivers back in the day. So Jim Farley doing Ford proud right here in that beautiful Ford Cobra.
Well, he kind of needs to, and there's a reason why Bob Farley needs to represent, right?
Yeah, Jim Farley.
Excuse me.
A big man at the Ford Motor Company. We're so honored to have him out here, and he's doing a little R&D for Ford right here with us. And he didn't get here early in the week because he had to do his real job at Ford Motor Company.
What is his position?
But got here after the earnings reports.
Is he the big? Is he the CEO?
He is the CEO of the Ford Motor Company. I hope he's okay with me saying that. But he's out here racing with us at WeatherTech, doing Ford proud.
I think that is phenomenal. You know, it's great having WeatherTech. They make those great products. But to have the CEO of the Ford Motor Company really just, I don't know, I think it really just says how important it is to Ford and how, you know, representing the brand. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any better than that.
And like I said earlier, you'd never know it to talk to him. He's having more fun out here, and he gets out just giggling, high-fiving everybody. Just having a blast, and he loves working with his team and the preparers of the Cobra. He just loves cars, and he loves that coupe cover. He races it in Europe sometimes, and he loves the way that hardtop looks, and I have to agree with him.
Well, I have to say, sometimes corporate America forgets the passion that the owners and the buyers of cars need, and just to have a little soupçon of passion within the corporate setup could be all so important when those big decisions have to be made.
Let's see what this Cobra can do over that Boss 302. That Cobra really stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and how?
That's Steve Park, 1965 Shelby Cobra, yellow. He's over there paddocked with Jim Farley. And look at this battle.
Good one.
The Boss and the Fastback.
Oh, the sound of these cars is just fantastic. I don't really want to ruin it and talk. Let's listen to it for a second, because as they come past our commentary position, you really get the roar. I hope you're getting it at home.
Side by side there, too. Some great racing here throughout the field, which is what we love about vintage racing. But I love the lines of that 65 Fastback. That's just a lot of fun to watch. Yeah,
I got a friend with a Fastback, and he took it over to Australia, bought it here in the States, and rebuilt it from scratch. And he has a lot of fun with it in Melbourne, Australia.
That's an exotic car in Australia.
Yeah,
you know, like you don't see too many American muscle cars in
Australia.
No, true. That lineage.
But they love their muscle cars, as you well know, and so it's
V8 supercars. A lot of fun to watch. That's Tim Park and that Cobra there. J.P. Griffith, 1968 Chevrolet Corvette going through the corkscrew.
And Scott Borchetta roars by with another brilliant lap, 139.2. He's going faster and faster. And second place, we'll take a look at the gap, and it's some 10 seconds now to Jim Farley in second place. Then comes the 65 of Chris Springer. He does a 144.3. But it's pretty close between himself and Yount. Don Yount in fourth place.
Yeah.
Steve Park just behind him in fifth.
Now we're going to get a shot. Here we're going to see Pat Womack coming up behind this orange Corvette. That's 64 there. And the green Porsche really making his way through the field in what looks to be like a really well-balanced car. But I really like, being from Tennessee, I really like that orange Corvette there. That is really
and there he is, the 55.
He's going to try to make a pass here. Can he do it? I think he's going to look at turn 5. He's going to try to get pulled down this little straight. Try to make, he's going to have to do it the hard way. He takes this inside, but now he's got the outside. Can he do it the hard way around this turn? Look at that.
Nicely done.
Womack showing his skills.
Very nice.
And I love those white gloves. Just makes our video just so much better.
I agree with you. They should be mandatory. Make sure the rules are rewritten for next year.
I'll do that. You know, I'll just start saying that on the drivers' meetings.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing white gloves,
you're out.
Put you on TV, you know?
That will go down well.
Especially if you're driving a coupe, because you can really see the
Or you
hands
could
working.
go to Alpine Stars or Sparco and do a deal for lots of sets of gloves.
Yeah. I wish we had a seismometer in the booth, because we must be hitting 7 or 8 on the Richter scale up here when these cars go rumbling by.
Well, I was talking to one of our crew who's got that special feature on the Apple Watch that measures decibels, right?
Yeah.
And they kept getting alerts saying 99, 98 decibels.
Unsafe. Look at this group going through.
Don't
here.
laugh, I've been measured at 130. Womack up to 13th place now already.
Chris Springer, 1965 Chevrolet Corvette.
That is the nicest sounding of all the cars that go by. Chadwick Manister in the number 63.
So he is in a 63, and you know that by that split window. The only year the Corvette made that split window coupe.
Why only one year? I like it.
I do too, but I think it was visibility.
Right. Good looking car though. You can see the lines of the Corvette, but it ooh, that bonnet's coming up. That he hasn't got that too secured. But I like it. I like that split window.
Yeah, I do too. It's a really pretty car. We have another one here with us this weekend as well. Here they come up to the corkscrew. Beautiful background there. This is just such a fun track. There it is, the 63 Vet and a Cobra. Here was the battle. This is what Ford was trying to do. Can we get past the Corvette?
'99B. Lynn Park. That Cobra 427.
Cobra's a little later on the brakes than the Corvette, which is what it's supposed to do. It goes a little bit deep.
So just over 10 minutes to go in our Group 6 Feature Race 2 here from Laguna Seca. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful spectacle of racing. Historic racing at its finest with SVRA. And once again, Tony Perella has put together a cracking field of cars for this event. And there's no question that California is alive with historic racing, very much so.
There it is.
Very much the heartbeat of
Drew Alcatzer, owner of Russo and Steel Auctions, out there in this beautiful Shelby GT350. Look at the brake lights on that.
Yeah, that's a good looking car too.
He races with us in HTA as well. Always brings out neat cars. When you own Russo and Steel high-end automobile auctions, you have a good pick of cars before anybody else does, and he's always bringing them out. David Bruder.
Yep, there is the number 29. David Bruder, as you mentioned, in that Ford Mustang GT350. Green and white. Another very pretty car.
I'm hearing a report of 3-0 white fluid coming out into the pits. It's Don Yount.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. It's a beautiful Camaro he brings out. Love having that car out here. He brings a lot of cars with us. Yeah, I do like the lines of that car, but man, I really like the sidelines of that Ford Cobra with that Le Mans style aero coupe
Yeah.
kit. But being a lover of all British sports cars, I would love the Cobra.
Of course, AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little known fact that it was effectively a combination, wasn't it? They built it around a British AC.
So here's George Wright in that 63 Corvette just came under. I've got a funny story about that. I'm the social media person for SVRA, and I brought my sons with me to Road America, and that car spun right in front of my son, who shot it with his iPhone. And that video, 6-second video we put up, was one of our most highly viewed videos.
Oh, really?
My son beat me at my own game.
Oh,
that's
not good in the household.
Look at that.
You're buying the Wheaties again for that, then.
That is just a beautiful car. That
Michael
Jaguar.
Doyle and the Jaguar E-Type Coupe. Yeah,
I'd like to see more shots of that. I love that car. That reminds me of Herbie here at Laguna Seca. That Jaguar E-Type. There are a couple of Herbies, E-Types in the Herbie movie there, and the Thorndike Special.
Yep. That was Robert Stockwell in the number 15 Ford Mustang we just saw a moment ago. And Womack now up to 5th place. What a race he's having.
Pat, I'm going to need that in-car because that's going to be some really good in-car.
Yeah, you'll get a full eyeful there.
Yeah.
So Borchetta leading by a country mile. He's 18 seconds again as he was yesterday. Ahead of Jim Farley. Steve Park in 3rd place. Chris Springer 4th. Patrick Womack, the man we were just talking about in that bright green Porsche 911, in 5th place at the moment. Very high revving, the 29 of Bruder. Just past our commentary position. Sad not to see the fans here, but it is what it is. We all know the reasons why. And I have to take my hat off to the way that both SVRA and Trans Am have comported themselves over the last year or so to be able to let us go racing. And here's a look at the 9.
George White is off at turn 10. Just got reports. That's the car. Look at that Jaguar E-Type.
Yeah, we're looking at that Corvette Coupe. That's beautiful too. That silver and red.
It is. You know, I hope the drivers are having just as much fun as we are watching these cars.
Oh, yeah, I can guarantee that.
Sometimes I forget to talk because I'm just looking at how beautiful these cars are. The finish on that
is immaculate, isn't it?
Is it looks like a show car. What are you doing out there? And I love that you're out there with us. Some great images from our camera person as well.
So coming down to the closing stages of our Group 6, beautiful muscle cars roaring through the hills of Monterey. I wish there was more people to see it in person, but I hope you're getting good sounds and visuals. But certainly I know I can see that the visuals are excellent. Across the line comes the 73. I still think that sounds like the most beautiful car in terms of sound anyway. And that's AC D'Augustin in the Corvette L88. And there's that other split window, that number 57 of John Wiggins. And that's a 63 version, as Ben just mentioned. That split rear window is the way of defining it as that 63, because they only did it for 1 year. And as he said, that's one of 2 we've got out there today. Currently in 13th position, as you see there on the bottom of your screen. And here comes Womack again, and he's still scything through the field in that number 55. He's up to 4th now, and he's chasing hard now on Steve Park, looking for a podium, and somewhat appropriate that the WeatherTech Maestro should get the podium, but it's not over yet. 4 minutes to go. And Womack has done an excellent job of taking that number 55 Porsche all the way to a very, very good finishing position. And he's not done yet. Oh, it's getting very close indeed. Here he comes. And the door is shut at 4. Next opportunity at 5. Can he get it done? Because it's a left-hander coming up. No, he's not going to do it here. I think he's going to try to use the hill and the grunt. And Springer holding on, but not for long. Here we go. Heading for the Rahal Straight. Can he do it? At the top of the hill. And into the corkscrew. That's the most obvious place now under braking. Lines himself up. Not quite close enough, I don't think. But we're going to have a devilish battle down the hill. Out of the corkscrew they come. Almost side by side through Rainey. Womack doing everything he can. And he looks to the inside at 10. And here come the leaders as Borchetta's already taken the checkered flag by over 30 seconds. Jim Farley will take second place, but yes, Womack's done it. He had to use the gravel to do it, and avoid the 99 as well, but he has got past, and here they are. They're racing towards the line, and he's got it back. Oh, brilliant stuff. Excellent racing, and Womack has to settle for fourth because Steve Park would not relinquish. And he had him at 10, and he just went a little wide, did Womack, at 11. And Steve Park sneaked back at the line. And Borchetta has another big victory. 30 seconds, Scott Borchetta in that Corvette from 1969. Well done again to our Group 6 former champion. And on his way to yet another championship, I'm sure. There he is. Hardly saw him, he was so far ahead. But he won't mind, he was in a world of his own. Big year ahead for Scott Borchetta. He's running his own event at Nashville. The Nashville Grand Prix with IndyCar. Ooh, what's happened here? Just a bit of celebration, I think. So, a cracking finish to our Group 6 race. Scott Borchetta, Jim Farley, and Steve Park. Steve Park having to really work for that podium in the end in the 98B, but did it in style. Confirmation then of that result. You just heard the top three. And in fourth place, Patrick Womack in the Porsche 911. A really good effort. That was the race of that group for sure. And he'll be probably miffed he missed out on the podium, but it was a good run. Chevrolet Corvette of Chris Springer in 5th place, Steve Etimoa in 6th place in the Ford Boss 302, and then a couple of Mustangs from Skeels and Baiacchio, and JP Griffith in the Corvette. John Anderson in 10th position